What's going on, everybody? I'm going live. I was just live on another person's channel, and I don't know if the live stream went south or she just cut me off. But I'm going to give my articulation about this on my own page. And we're going to talk about this Aaron Bailey shooting. So as soon as a couple people get on here, we're going to start. But for those of you who are joining, the reason I'm making this because this situation has made me so frustrated that I want to make a live video. But I went live with somebody just a minute ago, and it appears that she just cut off the live stream and just cut me out the live stream. Now, I don't know if it was technical difficulties. I'm going to give her the grace that it was technical difficulties. But from all intents and purposes, she cut me off because she didn't agree with me. Now, let me articulate reasonable truth about Aaron Bailey. Now, a lot of people are jumping on the Aaron Bailey bandwagon because that's what people do. They jump on the Aaron Bailey bandwagon. Anytime a black person is shot by a white police officer, it is somehow outrage with no evidence involved. There's no need for evidence involved. People just get emotional because somebody died at the hands of another person, happen to be a black man, and then they want to go crazy. Let me give you a few facts about Aaron Bailey that people don't want to tell you about. Aaron Bailey's criminal record is ridiculous. Aaron Bailey has been charged with robbery multiple times. At the time of this incident, Aaron Bailey had an ankle monitor on because he was being closely monitored he's in the process of being charged for theft. Aaron Bailey is out at 2 o'clock in the morning, 2 a.m. This man is being characterized as a father who's trying to battle homelessness in a criminal record, yet he has all of this criminal history and he's out at 2 o'clock in the morning riding around on a suspended driver's license. Now, the people on the left or the people that disagree, they will have you believe that this guy was just, our cops were just harassing him and all this. But let me tell you the truth. The truth is that the officer is passing by a convenience store, ran the plate on the vehicle from a known person who has robbed places multiple times. They drive by this convenience store and they see a Cadillac with all 4 doors open. The car is still running, no occupants. If that's not a clear sign that something ain't right, I don't know what is. They obviously wanted to thwart the robbery. More than likely, they called a convenience store to see if the robbery was occurring at the time. And just because the convenience store may have said that a robbery wasn't occurring, don't mean it wouldn't happen in the next couple seconds. But they circled the area. They came back around. They watch Aaron Bailey get ready to exit the driveway of the convenience store. Aaron Bailey had plenty of time to exit and drive through, but he waited for the police officers to pass. When police officers see that is the first sign of criminal activity. 2 o'clock in the morning, I just saw your car with all the doors open. You wait for me to pass you to come out of the driveway. It's on now. We already know you doing something you ain't supposed to be doing at 2 a.m. They get behind him. He switched lanes without signaling. That right there is a clear indication that we could pull you over. He don't just pull over. Wait, I think he pulled over the first time. They noticed that his hands were shaking and all this other stuff. He has every sign and symptom of somebody that's involved in something they shouldn't be involved in. He flees from the police on a high-speed chase. The only reason a high-speed chase ended because he crashed. Not because he gave up, not because he's a good law-abiding citizen and he decided, hey, I need to stop. I don't want to go to prison. It's because he crashed into a tree. This man crashes into a tree. Officers exit their police vehicles, give him commands. He disobeyed commands, goes into the center console. People argued that the crash caused the center console to open. That's why at the time of his death, they found the center console wide open. Forensic evidence proved that the crash did not cause the center console to open and that, in fact, Aaron opened the center console after the crash. which corroborated the police officer's story that he went into the center console while disobeying commands. He disobeyed commands. They are under the perception that he is pulling out a gun from the center console. When he's making his turn, they start firing on him. Seems to me to be reasonable. The law in self-defense and use of deadly force is very simple. It doesn't matter how you feel. It matters what the law says. The fear of serious bodily injury and or death to you or another person is grounds to utilize deadly force. Deadly force is not limited to just firearms. Deadly force is used to stabbing somebody, choking somebody, stomping somebody to death, suffocating them, running them over with your car. Those are all uses of deadly force. There's multiple threats of deadly force. It may not always be a gun. The threat from a knife, the threat from physically harming somebody hand-to-hand battle, which means if you and Kimbo Slice in the streets and you a 70-year-old woman, there is a literal fear of serious bodily injury and or death. You can shoot that man using deadly force. People are putting this in a circle. So if the officers feel that there's deadly force that they need to use to eliminate a threat, they are going to use the deadly force. The young lady on the other stream argued with me that there was no reason that reaction can beat action. And I gave her a scenario. When I was on the SWAT team, we did training where we had a guy in the front and a guy behind him. They're both facing the same way. The person behind him literally is trying to figure out how fast can you draw and shoot. So you have to wait till the person in front of you draw their gun before you can draw yours and shoot. When you see him draw, you got to draw your gun and you fire at a target. Whoever gets the shot off first, reaction time is better. They are trying to prove to you that even if you're behind the curve, you can react just as fast as somebody else if you can anticipate it. So there is a possibility that a person's reaction and action can simultaneously respond together. The problem with that argument is that their reaction isn't just a turn. Their reaction started when he went in the center console. And when his hands came out the center console, it's shooting time. Now, I'm telling you, she said the officers testified that the turning motion and the fact that he turned all the way around as if he was going to shoot them is the problem. She said that was impossible because he got shot in the back. The officers are at, the guy's facing 12 o'clock, officer at 7, officer at 4. She said 5. The officer's probably at 4 or 5. These officers on two sides of this man. When the shooting goes off, if you are at 12 o'clock, you got a person here, you got a person here. They're not here. They're not here. They're back here and they're back here. If you go to the center console and then you turn, your back is exposed to them majority of the time. Even if you turn to 7 to 9 o'clock, like he suggested, your back is still exposed to the person who's at 5 o'clock. If they're shooting you from the back, if they start shooting you when you go from here to here, you're getting hit in the back at all points, all the way to 9 o'clock. This person can still be shooting you in the back even though you are facing this other officer. Supposedly, this is a contradictory statement. It really doesn't matter because you don't get off of murder slightly because you may articulate something inaccurately or you may articulate something that can be questionable. You get off based on the law. Were you in fear of serious bodily injury and or death? Did you fear for your life? Would a reasonable person fear for their life in that given circumstance? And I would say yes, clearly. Now, this is the problem in addition to this. Not one person that is arguing this is arguing at any point that Aaron Bailey is wrong as two left shoes. I don't hear anybody arguing the fact that he shouldn't have been driving at 1 o'clock in the morning on suspended driver's license. That would eliminate this whole situation if he wasn't driving. They don't want to talk about the fact that he had committed multiple robberies, or at least been a suspect in multiple robberies. You at 2 o'clock in the morning, you at a convenience store with your car running and all the doors open, and you've been convicted of robberies in the past. You are currently on like supervised release with an ankle monitor on. At what point do you think that you're not going to have a bad interaction with police officers if you flee from them? Nobody's talking about what Aaron did. Nobody's talking about the life of crime. Nobody's talking about his disobedience to law. The fact that he's driving on suspended driver's license to start with. Nobody's talking about the fact that he fled from police in a residential area, putting everybody's life in danger. The citizens, putting the officer's lives in danger and his own life in danger, and the life of his passenger in danger. All of these components, nobody's talking about. Because it doesn't matter to them. All they want to do is point the finger at the police. Now, when you go to the court and you go into the court of law, the police are justified. All these other police shootings, these people are justified. Just because you don't like the justification don't mean they're not justified. What we need to be doing is, instead of pointing the finger at the police officer who is justified by law, we need to be pointing the finger at these people who are putting themselves in situations that they're getting justifiably shot. And you have these ignorant people that say, he shouldn't have been killed. He shouldn't have been killed because he was driving on a suspended driver's license. He didn't get shot because he was driving on a suspended driver's license. He got pulled over because he was driving on a suspended driver's license. Now, what you gonna say? He shouldn't have got pulled over because he was driving on a suspended driver's license? No, he got shot because he went into the center console refusing to obey commands, and he made a furtive effort to turn towards the police as if he's gonna shoot them. And they shot him. Case closed. That's why they're not getting prosecuted. That's why it's not going. This is why they're not getting indicted. Clear as the noonday sun. Now, some of y'all, you can get mad at me and you can say whatever you want. You can call me the next Kanye West and all this other stuff. People are going to still die if you don't change what you're doing. You can argue with these police until you blue in the face. The law is very clear. If you don't like the law, then you need to be mad at the law. Don't get mad at the police for responding to the law. You're not going to change. Young people, if you don't tell them to change what they're doing, they're going to continue to get killed day in and day out. If you don't tell people that driving on suspended driver's license is going to get you pulled over by the police, then you're going to continue to get pulled over by police. If you don't tell young people that fleeing from the police is going to exacerbate a situation that you're not ready for, people are going to still flee from police and get into altercations with police officers. I'm not understanding how this is so difficult. You know, and people talk about these merit boards. The merit board in Indianapolis for this police department determined that these officers should not even lose their jobs. They not only were they cleared through the court system, because the prosecutor said that there was no grounds to bring charges against them. So not only are they cleared in the court system, they had a civilian counsel determined that they shouldn't even lose their jobs. Why are people arguing with me about this? If it looks like a duck, it's probably a duck. If the court system is saying that they're not guilty, if the merit council, independent citizens, you could cry that some of them are biased. You could say some of them are biased against the police officers. You can cry both ways. Maybe the police, maybe there are some people on the council that's biased towards the police, and maybe there's people on the council that's biased against police. You could say the same thing on both ends. The bottom line is that a 5-2 vote, that these officers shouldn't even get fired when their own police department suggested that they need to get fired. Now, the police officers know the pulse of the police department. The officers on the police department know that the chief is full of crap. They know that the chief is just doing what's politically correct. The chief don't give a F about these police officers. Same thing with the chief in Tucson. That chief don't give a care about these police officers. Man, that dude is doing what's right for his career. He's doing what's right for the city council. He don't care about these police officers. He'll throw you under the bus, run you over, back over you, pour gasoline on, set you on fire, and let you die. I honestly believe that. And so when the chief of police say, see, this is the problem with some of these naysayers. If the chief of police said these officers should keep their job, oh, he a racist. He shouldn't even have his job. That police officer is in part, he's biased towards the police. They done talk trash about this police chief when he disagree with them. And when the police chief say these officers should be fired, yeah, he's the right police for us. He's the right chief for us. He's the man. He's impartial. So they have an independent counsel that the citizens agreed upon, because the police chief cannot be impartial in their eyes. He's the police chief. He's going to take the back of the police officers, or he's going to absolutely hate them. So what the citizens decided to do is to have an independent counsel of people, some of which probably had some level of law enforcement experience. I don't know what the criteria is. I know what we do in ours in Tucson. But the citizens decided to have an independent counsel. And now that the independent counsel is deciding to rule outside of their favor, now it's all biased. And listen, man, you ain't never going to have nothing that's completely straight. You are never going to have something that's completely straight. There are going to be people biased in anything you do. There are going to be people biased. Thank God the girl I was talking to ain't on the Citizens Review Board. I believe she's completely biased against police. She's completely biased against police. She's telling me that a guy's at 7 degrees, he's at 7 o'clock, and another guy's at 5 o'clock, and she don't know how this man got shot in the back, and he's facing this way at 12 o'clock. How he got shot in the back, she have no idea. That to me tells me that she's biased against the police department. Now, you can say that she's not, you can say that she is. All I'm saying is that when you put citizens together, everybody have their own biases. Everybody. Whether they hate police or they love them. Whether they too dumb to understand law or are they very privy to the law. I just don't understand. And this is my problem with citizens review boards. I was on a BOI. We call it BOI, Board of Inquiries. Let me see. Maybe I'm saying that wrong. I'm saying it wrong. My mind is going from me. I was on a BOI. And I was a peer officer on it. Another officer whom I knew, we had to review all this stuff. They had all kinds of people in there. And one thing that stood out to me was that I had to correct a citizen at least 3 times because they had no idea what police do. So I had to correct that person at least 3 separate occasions. Some people don't know that when officers click the radio, depending on what department depending on what kind of radio, some of these digital radios takes about 2 to 3 seconds for it to transmit when you click it. You click it and it go dee-dee-dee, and then you can transmit. Some people don't know it's not simultaneous. And if you don't know that, you're going to have questions about why did the officer transmit here and the person, what he was talking about was actually here. It's because if a person is traveling 80 miles per hour, covering I don't know how many feet per second, if an officer try to get on a radio, he's losing at least 1 to 3 seconds just clicking a button. And then by the time he transmits and says what he has to say, the person is already driving at I don't know how many feet per second. So by the time it gets translated over the radio, this person may not be in the place that the officer said. So what officers do sometimes is that they try to predict the intersection when they say, now he's approaching so-and-so and so-and-so. This person may be 400, 600 feet from the intersection, but the officer know that there's a delay and they want to get the message out. So by the time he crosses the intersection, other officers already got the information and they're moving forward. If you have never been a police, you have no idea what I'm talking about. And so with that being said, citizens on a review board, they sometimes they're not privy to this stuff. You know, like sometimes they need a reality check. Like they were trying to indicate that this officer did a U-turn in the middle of the street to try to block a motorcyclist who's traveling who's traveling at least 80 miles per hour. The helicopter said he was going 100 miles per hour. They're trying to say that the officer is pulling in front of this guy to block him off. And I told the lady, I said, do you understand that at that speed, the officer can't even hear him? He can't even hear the motorcyclist. So first of all, he's not going to be able to predict to pull his car in front of him. And I said, tell me this. If you're sitting in the car and a person is coming at you at 100 miles per hour, you telling me you're going to pull in front of that person and block him. Do you understand the impact of a 100 mile per hour motorcycle strike to a vehicle is death? Thank God that the motorcycle hit the front of the car and not the side, because that officer would have died. And you telling me the officer tried to turn. Be reasonable. The officer's trying to turn to do this, and pull in the path of a motorcycle traveling 100 miles per hour so he can get T-boned and die. That's not like, think through this. But when you've never been in that position where you had to block traffic as a police officer, you don't understand these things. And you are more apt to make delusional decision making. So a lot of times officers have a problem with these civilian boards simply because these people are looking at this from a point of view of ignorance. They're not just looking at it from an impartial point of view, but they're looking at it from a point of ignorance, which can be problematic. So I think that there should be stringent qualifications for people doing these merit boards, which there may be. I tell you on ours, it ain't that stringent. It should be. You know what I'm saying? I honestly believe that you should have to do, before you even apply, you should have done at least 5 ride-alongs. And if you're going to maintain on a citizen's review board, you need to do ride-alongs at least two or three times a month consistently every month to remain on the citizens review board. So you can understand the climate of policing on your department. If you're going to make a decision, so you can see how officers interact with one another, so you can see how citizens react with officers, so you can see how the policies are implemented in real time, not in theory. You have to do those things. And not only should you do that, you should be very familiar with the SWAT team. You should be very familiar with, before you apply, you should have at least interviewed a few officers. You should be down in the court. You should be down at the courthouse understanding court proceedings. So you can see the big picture in all of this stuff. But, some people don't do that because it's not convenient. You know what I'm saying? And they think that citizens who have that's like me saying, let's have a citizens review board for doctors in St. Joe's Hospital so we can critique whether they did something wrong or not. It's like, I have never been in a situation where I observed somebody doing life and death surgery. I've seen glimpses of it, but I haven't watched it from start to finish of a doctor doing surgery on somebody. I haven't watched it from start to finish, a doctor implementing all of these different things, open heart surgery. I've never seen somebody do blood transfusion. I've never seen a lot of stuff. I've never seen the process of them fixing broken bones. I saw them pull a guy's leg back into place, but I've never seen them connect the bone. I don't even know. I've never been in a situation to see how doctors treat people in those circumstances. I haven't been there. So how in the world, if I've never been in these situations and I've never seen it with my own eyes, I'm going to go to something and look at the rules and regulations and I'm going to say, oh, okay, I can make a proper decision in that. It's like, no, you probably need to see this with your own eyes so you can get a digestive experience of what exactly goes on here. And I'm not just talking with no understanding. Nobody in the country does this for anybody else except the police department. Somehow we need to have a review council that don't have no idea about policing. And people are okay with that. Now, I'm not saying that this particular review board, this merit board was that way. All I'm saying is that we run into these situations where that is a problem. And people get hung up on wording. Me and the young lady who was arguing, she can say that she disagreed with what the officer said. That's not the reason why they didn't get indicted, was because their action beat the reaction. And they said that they started shooting him when he turned, but they actually shot him while he was turning. They shot at him 11 times and they struck him 4 times. And all of them seemed to be in the back. It happened in 18 seconds. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Now, what they're really doing is they're suggesting that these officers are maltrained. They are racist officers killing this man just because he's black. Now, if you believe that these are racist officers and they're killing this man just because he's black, then of course 18 seconds mean a whole lot to you. Because 18 seconds mean they got out of the car and they just executed this guy. When you're a cognitive human being and you understand that 18 seconds is the eternity, if you're a police officer, an eternity. 18 seconds is an eternity as a police officer. Like, then if you ain't completely biased against police, you'll understand that 18 seconds don't mean nothing. 18 seconds to, when you look at it after the fact, it's like this. 18 seconds when you in this situation is a long time. You know what I'm saying? Just think about this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Like, that was a long time. When you, especially when it's life and death. Like, that's a long time, bro. Shootings is like splits. To make a decision to shoot somebody is split second. It's like you're not even a second. Like, you gotta, oh, shoot. You see how fast that was? I go from talking to shoot. This is how fast you gotta think to shoot somebody. Oh, you have to make a decision. By the time I looked, pulled my gun and shot, I had to make a decision of deadly force. That's milliseconds. That's training. That's not even cognition. That's like gun or furtive movements. Like in a split second, your brain can say, furtive movement, he pulling a gun. Last time this happened to me, this happened to a police officer before. All this happened like this. Boom, boom, I'm shooting him. I've been there. See, some of y'all ain't been there. You know, you got these people talking, but they ain't never been in a shooting. They ain't never been around a shooting. They ain't never had to decide whether to shoot or not to shoot. But 18 seconds. It was 18 seconds. Man, I've been in plenty of situations where I had to decide whether to shoot or not to shoot. And like, after the fact is when you think like, dang, like, I could have made the wrong decision right there. Easily made the wrong decision. I had a kid, I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell y'all this before I get off here. I had a kid run at me. And see, and this is the problem, like, nobody cares if a person is black or not. I had a kid run at me. I was in a house on Grant Road, near Campbell. If people know about Tucson, Grant near Campbell, little house there. A guy's on Spice. He threatened to kill himself. He knocked out a window, cut his throat, is what his family's saying. And he's in the house, suicidal. We show up, mom and them out in the street. We go to the door, you know, we tactically try to figure out what we're doing. We're trying to get everybody out the house so he can be in there by himself. We can slow down and not escalate the situation. If he just want to hurt himself, that's on him. That ain't on us, and everybody else that don't want to get hurt is safe. But somehow grandma's still in the house. So now we have to escalate our tactics to try to get grandma out of the house so he don't get crazy and start stabbing his grandma. Of course, she ain't cooperating. Then she speaks Spanish and don't speak English, and none of us spoke Spanish. So at some point, I'm in the doorway trying to get grandma out. She got all these dogs she's trying to block in. I finally get to the point where like, just pull her out of the house. Because while we playing in the middle, he come and stab her in the back, we're going to have to kill him. If we can get her out of the house, we can kind of slow this down. Well, when we pull the door to get her out of the house, glass shattered, and this kid is running full speed at me. Full speed. All I had time to do is to look at his hands and pull my gun. Because the call said he had a shard of glass in his hand like this, and he had it in his hand, and he had cut his throat with it. So all I know is that he probably had his glass in his hand. All I could do is look, pull my gun, and by the time I got my gun from here to here, he's already hitting me in the face. This kid has already hit me in the face. Like, thank God he's open-handed, because he was punching me. I mean, he could have got me one time, but he's open-handed, hit me in the face, and I have my gun here. Now, I could have shot him and been justified. Completely justified. I didn't shoot him, which if he had that glass, it would have been fatal. I would have made the wrong decision. The fact that he didn't have the glass in his hand, I survived. And he's hitting me with my gun out. Now I can't shoot him while he's hitting me because I know that when I put the gun away, he gonna get that work. So I'm holding him like this. I'm putting my gun away, and then I throw him over the table, and then we fight. I'm punching this guy. We fighting. This guy isn't phased. And he taking shots and he ain't phased. He's clearly high on drugs. He's doing, I pepper sprayed him. He's not phased. Only thing that stopped him was that we tased him. He gave up after he was tased. This kid had cut his throat from here to here. The fat is coming out of his throat. And he did all of that crazy stuff with his throat hanging out. And these people who are on here disagreeing with me, trying to tell me what 18 seconds sound like, they're delusional. All of this that I'm describing to you happened in less than 18 seconds. From the time we pulled grandma to the time we were tasing him was probably less than 18 seconds. All this happening, this was life and death, beginning and end of the incident, probably less than 18 seconds. And people want to argue about inconsistencies in what the officers are saying. Well, and then this person told me this. Well, the officer said that they were yelling commands, but the passenger said they weren't yelling commands. Does that mean that they weren't yelling commands? They may have been yelling commands. The driver and passenger probably didn't hear them. That don't mean that they weren't yelling commands. That just means you didn't hear them. Whose fault is that? Like the officers gonna say, wait a minute, time out. Let me get in the car. Bro, you yell commands. I'm gonna sit in the back seat and you tell me if you can hear the commands. Bro, I don't hear the commands. Y'all stay right here. Y'all know y'all can't hear the commands. Let me get on the radio and tell him to be louder with his commands. Okay, we can hear you now. Let me get out the car, then y'all can run and do whatever you got to do. It don't work like that. Y'all expecting it to be like, show me your hands, and like, you can say, wait, time out. Do you have a gun or do you not, bro? Because you're going in the center console and you making me think you have a gun, but let me check real quick. Oh, you ain't got no gun in there. Okay, stay right here. Let me back up. Show me your hands. They pull the gun on you. He don't have a gun already. Okay, go to the ground. It don't work like that. If we could do that, then yeah, we'll never shoot a person without a gun ever. It don't work like that, man. That stuff happened like this. Get on the ground. Pow, pow, pow. That's as slow as it should go. That's as slow as it should go. I've been in situations like this before, man. You have no time to think. You have no time to sit back there and parlay. You have no time to guess. You have no time for none of this stuff. Somebody's fleeing from you. They crash. You got to get out the car as fast as you can because you got to beat them to running and you got to beat them to pulling the gun on you. You jump out the car. You give the commands as you are pursuing them. Period. You're not standing at the car door. Let me see your hands. You getting out and you own it. Show me your hands. You got to overwhelm them with force. You got to overwhelm them with presence so you can get the jump on them. If you overwhelming them, if they go for a gun, you already got the upper hand. If you sitting back there being passive aggressive, statistics have proven that people shoot and kill officers when they passive aggressive. They don't know if they want to yell. They don't know if they want to pursue. They don't know if they want to like really be serious. They don't know if they really want to shoot them. They don't know if they don't. Like, there ain't no time for that. You get out the car. Show me your hands. It's your fault that you ain't reacting fast enough. It's your fault that you getting us chasing you and all this stuff. People don't understand, man. I've never seen a person get shot and gunned down by police just getting pulled over on a traffic stop with their hands on the steering wheel. Never seen it in my life. Never. It hasn't happened. I don't know. I ain't never seen it. I've really never seen people get their butts kicked from not committing a crime. Even Rodney King got his butt kicked. Rodney King, now I'm telling you this, they went too far on Rodney King. But the initial force used against Rodney King was completely justified. They just went too far. Rodney King almost beat and killed a police officer before he got into a high-speed chase. Now what excuse you gonna give a man? You beat an officer to death, almost. You jump in the car and you take them on a high-speed chase and they get out and kick your butt. Now, They deserve to get in trouble for doing too much. But man, I ain't feeling sorry for you. I don't feel sorry. Man, you ain't had no business doing none of that stuff you were doing. What you think gonna happen to you? You think they're gonna give you a lollipop? You think they're gonna come and give you a high five, give you a hug, tell you, I love you? I'm telling y'all right now, if you are watching this stream, you run from the police and you have already fought and almost killed another police officer. I'm telling you, you about to get worked. I don't know what you think gonna happen to you. If you either give up or you're gonna get some work. I'm just keeping it 100. They gotta get out and run you down, and you done almost killed a police officer. You fleeing from them, and then you resisting. You about to get that work. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. This ain't a game. This is not liberal utopia. There's no safe space. When you out there in the field, it's real. You gonna get worked. I'm telling you. The way you feel as a police officer when somebody's running from you, the fear, the aggression, the uncertainty, the life or death, the fight or flight that you feel when somebody's running from you and you think they got a gun, bro, it's on. There ain't no talking. It's business. If you don't want that work, you better give up. You better put your hands up and lay it down. Y'all must be smoking crack. The thugs that really, when I was in the police department, the thugs that knew what it was, they let it go. They say, all right, officer, you got me, bro. You got me. You got me, cuz. You got me. I ain't even finna go there. And see, I don't even know this person. They said, man, last time I went there, man, they beat me down. Yeah, that's what happens. They can defend themselves. You're not gonna just fight the officers and they're gonna just look at you and dodge. Let me tell y'all something that goes on in the police department. Police officers, when you fight a police officer, it's a real fight, right? It's not a wrestling match. It's a real fight. Like, when you wrestle with police officers, you may not be thinking life and death. Police officers are thinking life and death. You don't get to do all that and think they're going to go halfway on you. When I was on the police department and people would come at me, we going toe to toe. You better hope you got hands because we going toe to toe. This ain't no, sir, please don't hit me. Sir, I got kids. Don't beat me, sir. It's like boom, boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? What you want to do? You know what I mean? People live in a false world. And if a lot of people were police officers, they'll be doing the same thing. Like, none of this is unjustified. When dudes give up, we give up. You know what I'm saying? It may be a little rough while you getting in the handcuffs. We gonna force you in the handcuffs because you done all that running and stuff. Now everybody amped up. The operational momentum is gonna be a little rough, but we ain't finna beat you and you ain't done nothing. Now, if you want to fight after we done it, you gonna lose. I seen dudes try to go toe to toe with officers. It don't end well for you. You know what I'm saying? It don't end well for you. Like, if you out there and you thinking, man, forget this officer, man, I'm gonna steal off on this dude. And you get into a fight with one officer. When that officer hits his radio and is screaming or saying officer needs assistance, everybody on the police department's heart rate just went right here. Heart rate went from here to here. See, y'all don't understand the operational momentum. Tell me this. If you were sitting on your couch right now, somebody called you on the phone and say, Daddy, come help me. Help. What you gonna do? You gonna be like, I'm gonna finish watching my show real quick and I'll come help you out. I don't know what's going on with my son. Daddy, help me. You like, your daughter call you, Daddy, help me. Daddy, help me. You gonna sit there and say, yeah, she sounds like she kind of in distress, but I don't know. I'm gonna finish watching my soap operas and I'll go call her back later. You must be stupid. You let your daughter call you on the phone. Help! Hang up. You like, what the? Oh shit, it's on. I'm getting my AR and I'm driving. I'm driving till I find a car. I'll call the police and say, y'all better meet me there. So what you think happened in the police realm when the officers gets on the radio and say, officer need assistance? What? It's on. You full speed. Get out the way. Everybody better move. My brother is in danger. He could probably be getting killed right now. I'm flowing it. That car, when officers used to get on the radio and say, 1099, that's like your son telling you, help me, daddy. And you like, whatever it takes, son. I'm flying. You hear your best friend. You hear people, like when you're on the police department, those people are your family. These people, you got more history with people on the police department than you do with your own family. These people life and death with you every day for 40 plus hours a week. Life and death with you every day for 40 plus hours a week. You grow so connected with people on the police department that they are literally closer to you than your family. And when your family's on the radio screaming for help, you are going to go straight into beast mode. And so I'm saying this, so if you one of these young thugs, these young punks, running around thinking that you going to steal off on a police officer and that's going to be it, you might need to think twice. You put your hands on the cop and they get on that radio and 15, 16 officers is running, this ain't going to end well unless you just flat out give up. If they show up and you still fighting that officer, you about to take a L massively. You about to take a L. I'm telling you, you about to take a L. I know when I was a cop, I say when I get there, this dude better be laying flat. If he ain't laying flat, he's going to be laying flat after this. And that don't necessarily mean you got to beat him up. That means that you are going to be in cuffs. You are going to be in a submissive position in cuffs when I get there. Whatever it takes to get you to that point is what's going to happen to you. If I gotta throw blows on you, you're going to get that work. And I used to say this in my mind. When I get there, this person's going to handcuffs. Immediately. There is no talking. You going in handcuffs. Now, if I show up and you already, sir, I'm going to tell you get on the ground right now. If you don't get on the ground, immediately, I'm throwing you on the ground. You going to the ground. You already done messed over your opportunity for me to think that you are a reasonable person that's not going to cause a conflict. You don't get to beat the officer. Officer's on the radio screaming, help me. And then we get there and you're like, okay, now I'm trying to be nice. No, you go to the ground now. Get on the ground. You go to the ground, you good. You know what I'm saying? I done been in situations where dudes done some crazy stuff, and I wanna pick them up and body slam them. I really do. I wanna beat them. I wanna beat them unconscious. That's what I wanna do. They done gave up already. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, put them in cuffs, and you like, boy, let me breathe for a minute because I came over here hot, and you gave up. So it's fair game. You gave up. I wish we could fight, but you gave up. So let me put you in the back of the car. You good. That's what it is. Nine times out of 10, police interactions, you give up, you just saved yourself. We show up and you like, what's up then? Boom, you down. Call meds. I'm just keeping it 100 with y'all. And people say, oh, it's police brutality. No, it's not. We can use a reasonable amount of force necessary to execute an arrest. If you are fighting us, we can fight you back and then make you go to jail. And see, some of y'all ain't never been in a fight before. You've been watching too much TV. Fighting ain't easy. You know what I'm saying? You don't get to choose to say, okay, we're going to this call. I'm going to get into a fight here. And I want the dude to be like 5'10", 160. No weights. He ain't lifted weights. None of his life. Bad cardio. That's what I want. Going route, I'm going to run into this guy. No. You go en route. You go en route, and he's 6'5", 300 pounds. You better get ready. I had a dude try to fight me that was 6'5", 300 pounds. He looked like he was a former bodybuilder. I mean, his arms were a little flabby. He still had the legs, but he was big. 6'5", 300 pounds. He wasn't even a suspect, tried to fight me. I dropped him. And I had to drop him. And it is what it is. Like, I can't wait for the dude to hit me. Can I? That dude attacked me. He came at me. And I dropped him. And he was crying that I shouldn't have hit him that hard. But at the end of the day, it's me and you 6'5", 300 pounds, you hit me one time, knock me out. I'm dead. I'm dead. You could take my gun, you take my police car, you got too much at hand. You knew when you started coming at me with your fist ball like you want to fight, you knew I was in uniform. You know I'm a cop, and you know you ain't got no business doing that. And so now he didn't know because I tricked him into thinking that I was like, hey man, what are you? And then it was on. But you know what it is. See, if I was outside right now and I come down the stairs, put a gun on me. Get on the ground, get on the ground, get on the ground. I'm getting on the ground, getting on the ground. I'm getting on the ground. Y'all ain't gonna never see nobody go to the ground faster than me. I might even use my hands. I might just go plop right on the ground. I'm not getting to it with no police officers. Because you don't win those. Like, they might shoot you. You know what I'm saying? Or they may accidentally shoot you. Or it may be a bad cop and they shoot you. You know what I'm saying? You got to be smart. Like somebody said, tricked him. You got to be smart. Like, they do way too big for me to like show my hand. He was coming at me fist ball. And his boy saying, don't do it, man, don't do it. And I'm like, don't do it? What this? Them don't try to fight me. I said, and I had watched the video of a dude in Vegas that was like, and he choked the guy, but he lured him to sleep by being kind of passive. Then he struck him like a cobra. It probably is called a cobra strike. You know what I'm saying? So when he was coming there, I was like, I'm gonna make him think that I'm questioning what he's doing. I'm gonna make him think that I'm like, what's going on? But I already know I'm about to drop him. As soon as he get right here, I'm dropping him. So when he was walking up, I said, hey man, what are you? Boom! Got him. He was down for the count. Don't get mad. Don't get mad. You had no business trying to fight me. See, if I didn't do that and he got the upper hand of me, he could have killed me. He only got mad because he wasn't expecting me to hit him that hard. Well, it is what it is. Don't attack a police officer if you ain't ready to get hit. Anyway, I didn't say it enough. But I'm going to cut this video and put it on my YouTube channel. Now, people don't understand what, like Amber said, the adrenaline. Adrenaline is big time. That stuff can make you, adrenaline stuff. Like somebody said, somebody shoot you dead. With that 300-pound guy, I saw his hands. I knew I wasn't gonna shoot him, and I knew I could fight him because my boys was on their way. And he didn't have no gun. He had his hands out like this. He was drunk. I mean, I could have shot him. I'm quick enough on the gun, but he didn't have nothing in his hands. And so I definitely wasn't gonna get in a position to pull a gun on him. And then he don't stop. And he that close to me, and then we fighting over a gun. But I dropped him. And then he gonna have the nerve to cry to my sergeant. He hit me. And his friend told on him. His friend was like, no, he came from around here. He started coming at the officer. You know, I told him don't do it. He started coming at the officer like he was gonna fight him. And the officer dropped him. So, but anyway. I'm just talking now. But I wanted to make this video because that one lady brought me on the show. Then she, Mike, talking about what you eating. I'm eating pecans. Trying to be healthy. I'm getting fat over here. Thanks, Mario. Appreciate it. I'm about to get off here. I just want to read a couple comments, though. Man, Mary said, did I catch shade for defending myself? No. My sergeant came, and she said, what happened? She asked me what happened. She asked the dude what happened. And then she asked his friend what happened. And she told him straight up. She said, you ain't had no business trying to attack my officer. This is what happens. He have a right to defend himself. You tried to attack my officer and he dropped you. That's what happens. Have a nice day. That's what she said. David said, do I feel better in my bike accident? Yes. I'm good now. Any day now they supposed to replace my bike. Hopefully they hurry up. Because I ain't rode in a month. Somebody said they posted me some videos. Let's see. You know, I just think, in conclusion, I just think, and everybody's asking me, I'm okay for my accident. I mean, I got permanent scars and stuff, little stuff, but I'm okay. Whitney, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah, I try to do my best at just giving another perspective, man, because these people out here in the limelight, they won't tell the truth. They won't tell the truth about what's going on because they bias. You know, they just won't tell the truth. You know what I mean? They got agendas. You know, when people say, yeah, Brandon, you bias towards police. You can say I do have more sympathy. I don't want to say I'm biased. I'm just more informed. You know what I'm saying? I'm more informed. That's like me driving NASCAR. And somebody asks me questions about NASCAR drivers. I'm informed. If I was a NASCAR driver, I'm informed about NASCAR. So how you gonna say I'm biased against NASCAR? I'm just informed. So I'm up on all the topics. Like, somebody said they putting in for SWAT. Oh, Mike. Mike say putting in for SWAT. Do your thing, man. If I can give you some advice, just call me. SWAT was fun, man. I wish I'd have kept doing it. But I ain't a cop no more. But I wish I'd have kept doing SWAT. SWAT was fun. SWAT was pretty fun, man. It was like SWAT, even though I wasn't on that long, and I didn't have enough seniority to be on the door team and all that stuff. Man, SWAT was too fun, man. The stuff you see in movies, we be really doing that stuff. Jumping out on people at the grocery store, kicking in doors, throwing in flash bangs and all that stuff. Diversionary devices, to be politically correct. Let's see. Some people, like, put it this way. Everybody have biases, right? Some people love police because they're see, there's two different biases, right? You got the empathetic bias and you got the ignorant bias. So some people hate police in a biased manner because they're ignorant. And I think some people like police in a biased manner is because they're empathetic with police. If you don't have no police officers in your family and you've never met a cop, then you're not gonna have any empathy for them. If your daddy a cop or you was a cop, you're gonna show empathy and understand police a lot better. You're gonna be more willing to give them the benefit of the doubt. And benefit of the doubt is not just emotional. I mean, you get stats. Statistically proven that officers tend to not be malicious in the stuff that they do. It's just not a lot of time to do that. Like, it's not a lot of time to be biased against people as police. Man, every now and again, maybe somebody can do that. But overall, I don't know a racist cop. And even the ones who may be racist, you don't even know they racist. See, this is another thing. Like, the chances of there being a racist police officer on a department is like, just say on a department of 1,000 officers, there may be like 15 racists on the department. I'm being honest to God truth. I think it's probably 15 people that are really racist. Like they hate black people or hate white people or they hate other people. No, let me say this. There's probably more that's racist against other people. I'm going to say for the context of this argument that's been going on, a police department with 1,000 people, there's probably 15 officers on that department that are racist against black people. That just hate black people, right? All 15 of these officers work in variant capacities. Like a couple may be in patrol. One may be a detective. One may be a supervisor. One may be a captain. One may be a motor officer. Like all 15 of them are not in the same place. You may have and maybe two of them at the same place at the same time is probably impossible. On duty. Two of them at the same place, same time, probably impossible. So what a person is suggesting is that even in the face of a racist officer, you're trying to say that the officer that's not racist is okay with a racist person. So for instance, I'm not a racist and I've never met a racist officer. But if one of the officers that I went to a call with that was racist and I didn't know, they can't express their racism because they will not do it in front of me. A person who's racist is not going to do something racist in front of a person who hates racism. So for you to think that an officer is going to unjustifiably shoot a black man, the chances of the other officer also being racist is slim to none. Yeah, it's slim to none. Now, do officers have each other back? Yes. Officers are going to have each other's backs. You know what I'm saying? If it's questionable, officers are going to support the other officer. It's just the way it is, man. It's not going to change. If an officer is wrong, officers don't support other wrong officers. So for instance, if an officer goes out and they get into a situation and the guy's complaining that the officer hit him too many times, punched him too many times. If the officer is not there, the other officer's there, the officer is going to believe his other officer before he believes the citizen. It's just the way, not unless this guy's a known criminal. You know this, not criminal, but one of these guys you know is a hothead and they always doing stuff, you're going to be like, yeah, you probably did that. He probably did that. But what I'm saying, for the most part, officers are going to give the benefit of that to other officers. That's the way it is. Now, if you committing crimes, that's different, man. Like, if an officer, like for instance, we had a guy rape a girl. Man, we had a guy rape a girl, a prostitute. Covered it up. He was the only one on the call. Man, we couldn't wait to fire that MF. We couldn't wait to fire him. I wanted to fight him physically. I wanted to personally fight that dude. Everybody was mad at him. Everybody was mad at this dude. Not one person wanted him to keep his job. A lot of us want to put our hands on him. It's like, you making us look bad. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Well, you know, they want to make us look bad. So we mad. You know, I've never been a part of a unjustified shooting, like on my department. I've never seen one. I don't think we ever had a questionable shooting. I don't think none of our shootings have been questionable. Every shooting that has happened on our department, literally, traditional stuff. Guy pulls a gun on the officer and he gets shot. Guy pulls the AR on the officer, he gets shot. Guy lifts the AR up, parallel, gets shot. We have to save a hostage, SWAT team shoots a guy. You know, like, I can't even think of a questionable one. Like, I didn't see so many shootings on our department. Questionable shootings is rare. You know, and the only reason that people even bringing this stuff up is because this racial dynamic. This dude, Aaron Bailey, that got shot, nobody will be talking about this. White people get shot like this all the time. Like, I don't understand why people are like confused. White people get shot for the same stuff that Aaron Bailey did all the time. But white people ain't saying it's unjustified and protesting. Because they know he ain't no business doing none of that stuff. Somebody's like, officers get off or not prosecuted like 90% of the time. Yeah, that's because they're innocent 90% of the time. That's why they don't get prosecuted. Because they ain't do nothing wrong. And shootings are very rare. Like, you have people like thinking that officers, like most officers go their whole career without shooting somebody. I was a police officer, worked midnight shift for a long time, very busy area, never got in a shooting. I was on a SWAT team, never got in a shooting. Never got in a shooting. Like, the chief of police, our last chief, Bill Senor, 30-some years on the department, never got in a shooting. Most officers on the department never got in a shooting. Most officers will never get in a shooting. Like, this is a thing that I think people just don't. In my career, 6 years on the department, we probably only had, out of 6 years, we probably only had 30 shootings. And some of the shootings were repeat officers. Like, some officers have been in 5 shootings. You know what I'm saying? And it's just because they end up being in a situation where they have to shoot people. So you got like 30 shootings in the last 6 years that I've been involved. And I'm guessing on a very high end. So that means out of 1,000 officers, only 30 of them have ever shot anybody. And like I said, most of them have shot people more than once. You know, some of them were SWAT operators that shot people more than once. And then another guy who I know who just got in a recent shooting, I think he'd been in like 3 other shootings. All justified. He just so happened to be there when a guy robbing a bank with a gun in his hand. You know, he just so happened to be there when a guy pulled a gun on him. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, it just so happened he just been unlucky to be in these shootings. But like, most people have never been in a shooting, like, and will never get in a shooting. It's so rare, man. Like, when I got on the police department, they like, here's your gun. We take you through all this training, but you probably never gonna shoot anybody. And it's like, you're probably never gonna shoot. And you know, we looking around the country at officer-involved shootings as if they happen every day. Or if they happen every day, like in one city. Like, this Bailey shooting was one of like, I don't know how many shootings. Out of 300 million people, 300 plus million people, only 100 people got shot by the police. Like, do you know how rare that is? 100 people getting shot by the police out of 300 million people? 200 people out of 300 million people. Like, that's like a million times. Like, yeah. You're a million times more likely to not get shot by the police, if my math is right. Correct me if I'm wrong. A million times. Y'all correct me if my math is wrong, because I'm probably thinking about this wrong. But I'm like, if you got, just imagine, say 300 people got shot. Out of 300 million people. So if you go a million times 300, you got 300 million. So you're a million times times likely to not get shot. A million. A million. And like Robert just said, I heard we got 300 million guns in America. 300 million guns. Now, there's probably a few people that got 15, 20 guns, but at the same rate, you still got millions and millions and millions of guns in America circulating. And you have still 60% of the shootings in America are suicides. So it's like, we got 300 million guns and 60% of our shootings are suicide. And we cry so much about AR-15s when you're 3 to 4 times more likely to die from being stabbed than being shot by AR-15. I tell you how backwards we so backwards, man. Right, Phineas? We backwards, man. Right? Come tell them how backwards we are. Don't hit the table now. Come over here. Up here. Get my lap. Up, buddy. No, you're going to knock the table over. Move this way. Sit. Go get your toy. Toy. So anyway, if y'all watching this and you want to see the beginning of my video, I'm going to cut that video and put it on YouTube. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, people just, I don't understand, man. I don't understand. Like, I try not to feel like that I'm somehow some higher enlightened individual. Like, I think I'm just normal. And everybody else is just blatantly ridiculous. You know, people that like the girl on the thing arguing with me about 7-degree angle, 5-degree angle. He got shot in the back. Like, you digging into semantics. Like, they shot 11 shots, only 4 of them hit him in the back. Nobody knows which shots hit him in the back. Like, she said 2 of them came here, 2 of them came there. Like, anytime the person over here shot, it was going to be the guy back anyway. Because he was here and turned here. He said his back the whole time. Any shots from this person is going to be in his back. No matter if he turned a 90-degree angle. So silly, man. I just don't know how people get to this point. And I think it's because of the hatred against police. These people they think that all police are malicious, racist people. So then when some get into a shooting, they like, oh, look, they crazy. They just shot him in 18 seconds because they don't care about black lives. And it's like, that's not the case, man. It's like, give a man the benefit of the doubt. You got a guy committing multiple felonies. And you more willing to give him the benefit of the doubt than a police officer who's not doing anything wrong but doing his job. Like, I think I'll side more with the police officer than a convicted felon who consistently is committing crimes. I'm not talking about, you know, like I said, one of my best friends, man, I consider him a good friend of mine. He did 19 years in prison, convicted felon. Like, I trust that dude alone with my kids. And the reason why is because he's a good dude and he has literally learned his lesson. But if that dude, if my homeboy would have gotten out of prison and had a suspended driver's license and he riding around with alcohol in the car, he riding around with another person that is being investigated related to a homicide, and my friend is fleeing from the police, bro, you ain't learned nothing. I ain't supporting you if you ain't learned nothing. Your criminal history means nothing to me if right now you're doing the right thing. Your criminal history means everything if you still committing crimes. If the man didn't get killed by the police, he would be going to jail for a very long time. All these aggravating circumstances, he would go to jail for a very long time. I don't understand how we see it any differently. You know what I'm saying? I don't get it. I tell you what, man, I don't pull punches, man. I don't pull punches, and I don't live in an era where I think that use of force and stuff is somehow, oh my God, they punched him in the face too many times. Like, I mean, you beating the guy while he's unconscious, it's unnecessary. You punch a guy 1 or 2 more times, that's iffy. I'm not finna lose sleep over that. You know what I'm saying? When they started beating Rodney King at first, I ain't care. When they went too far, they need to lose their jobs. That's just the way it is. And Rodney King need to go to prison. Like, we can never do both, right? We can never do both. In this situation with this Bailey guy, I think that the officers can learn from this, right? I think in hindsight, they can look back and say, next time, given this situation, we could stand behind the car next time. Or given this situation, we may give them a little more space. Like, you can come up with all this after the fact. You still justified in shooting them, but you can improve on your tactics later. So could these officers improve on tactics? Yes, always. It's always room for improvement on tactics. It's always room to think about what you can do better next time. Always room. But that don't mean you were wrong in the moment. You know, yeah, of course you didn't want to shoot a guy that never had a gun. Nobody wants to shoot a guy without a gun. That's a death sentence to your career. So if you knew he had a gun, you wouldn't have shot him. You know what I'm saying? Like, and somebody said, how do you defend yourself with white privilege? Like, I tell a person to kiss my, you know what? If I was white and I made a statement and they say, no, you have white privilege, I say, you stupid, you can kiss my, you know what? You're stupid. You tell me I got white privilege. So I got white privilege, so I can't give my opinion. Kiss my butt. Kiss my behind. I can say whatever I want to say. If I think black people acting a fool and I'm a white person, I'm going to say black people acting a fool. You call me racist, you kiss my butt. I know I ain't racist. And if you think I'm racist just because I'm white, you stupid. I say what, they be want to kill me. If I was white, they'd be trying to kill me. I'd be trashing people left and right. I'd be calling out Alton Sterling the same. Let them call me racist, I don't care. They call you a racist, they call me a coon. Same difference. I'm still gonna be running my mouth. It's sad what we going through in this country, man. White privilege, white privilege, white privilege, white privilege. It's always the abstract. It's always the hypothetical. It's like, well, since you're white, it's inferred that you have a level of privilege. How is that consistent? What happens if you're born in a household without a daddy? And you walking and going to school every day smelling like pee and cigarettes? People gonna bully you. They gonna bully you if you white or black. You gonna get bullied like a mug. What privilege do you have? Somehow, because of your white skin, you're gonna somehow make a 820 or I don't know 1100 on the SAT. I don't even know what the SAT scores are anymore. I think an 8 something is good. Tell me if I'm wrong. I think an 8 something is good because I be getting the SAT and ACT mixed up. I think an 8 something is alright. Anyway, somehow because you white, you're going to somehow pass your class. Somebody's going to study for you. Somebody's going to go to school and do and read the books and do math for you because you white. I've seen young white people have it worse than black people. I see young white kids living in the trailer homes. I don't know where they daddy at. They mama smoking crack and meth. And she fighting the system to keep them. Done got her kids taken 4 or 5 times already. How's that kid gonna grow up? What privilege did that kid have? What privilege? What privilege? Somebody said 800, you dumb. 1100 above, you smart. Okay, whatever. I don't know what it is, but I can't even remember what I did on SAT. I know for a fact I ain't make no 1100. I made whatever I had to make to go to college, which I'm not proud of, but it is what it is. Sit down. Sit down. Sit down. I'll deal with you in a minute. Finish. Sit down. So, stop. What do you want from me? But, you know, like Annie said, BS, another name for racist. That's like, listen to me. I understand if people say that there's white privilege in certain circumstances, but you cannot say that and exclude the fact that there's black privilege in certain circumstances, that there's wealth privilege, class privilege in certain circumstances. I don't understand how you can't simultaneously say that. Like every white person have a privilege. No, they don't. I've seen the trailer parks. I've seen white people have it just as bad as black people. I've seen white people strung out on heroin, just like I've seen black people strung out on heroin. Like you don't get any better. I seen people, you know, harass white people at stores because they look like meth heads. Because they got sores all over their face and stuff. They look like a meth head. People calling us on them at the store and they ain't done nothing. Like, I don't understand how we, as a people, how we can just be so stupid. White privilege in America. How is Barack Obama became president? How did he get there if there's some systematic white privilege? Like, how did white privilege prevent the first black president? That's all I want to know. How does white privilege prevent Barack Obama from becoming president? Like, it didn't. So that means white privilege ain't that strong that Barack Obama couldn't make it to be the president of the United States 2 terms. Voted on by white people. It wasn't the black people that got him elected. It was the white people. He already had the black vote because he was a Democrat. The white people swayed the vote. I'm just saying, ladies and gentlemen, I don't believe in white privilege in the way that these people are articulating it as a privilege that's holding other people down. Like, man, I'll tell you this. I've taken myself to a good, nice restaurants. I sold my house, you know, whatever. You know how that goes. Made a little money. I take myself to a nice restaurant with my friend yesterday, and then I went a couple times before that. I ain't never had nobody treat me anything other than respectful. Ever. I'm up in the foothills somewhere with all white people. I think me and one other dude was the only black people in there. And the waitress was beyond nice to me. It's because if I came, and I was dressed nice, if I came in there with my pants sagging and all that stuff, I'm pretty sure I would have got a different experience. But it's like, now you look at it, you say class privilege. When I fly on the airlines, I like to dress up when I go on the airlines. People treat me different. They look at me different and they treat me different when I'm dressed up than when I'm not. Not because I'm black, it's because of my professionalism. The white privilege that they're talking about is a myth. Racism that they're talking about is a myth. White privilege has no power over nobody. I feel bad for white people that grow up hard and they like, white privilege, you know what? Drinking coconut water. So somebody think I'm drinking a beer. Drink coconut water. Yeah, man. I don't know, man. White privilege is such BS, man. I done seen so many black people get off of crimes that I was like, how are you free right now? How are you not in prison for the rest of your life? How do you keep getting off? How does Meek Mills get off of a charge and not do significant time in prison when he violated his probation 6 times, and he violated his probation 6 times in, I think 5 times in 6 years, and haven't done no significant time in jail? Like, I just don't understand. But there's somehow white privilege. Why do black people get to say whatever they want to say? Like, if I wanted to be a social justice warrior, I can go into a Starbucks right now and like just start calling everybody racist. I can say, man, I can't stand white people. They all racist devils. I can say that if I wanted to, and people would be on CNN and be like, see, this is what Donald Trump has done. Donald Trump has just caused such racial tension that this young man is afraid. Like, no, I'm an idiot. Anyway. Oh, they say same for R. Kelly. The same for what's his name too? Forget his name. O.J. Simpson, man. O.J. Simpson, he beat the case because the man got money. He beat the case. It is what it is, man. If you got money, you can beat the case. On anything you do, just about. You got enough money, you can beat the case. You can beat the case. You ain't got no money, you going to jail. You ain't got no money, you going to jail. I don't know what to tell you. Go rob a store right now. You have a public defender. You going to jail. You probably going to have to do a plea deal. Rob a store and you got hundreds of thousands of dollars to pay for a team of attorneys. I guarantee you're going to be on probation. Robbery, armed robbery, you'll be on probation. You get the right attorneys, you got enough money. You ain't got no money, you're going to jail for that. My uncle got 25 to life for armed robbery. 25 to life for armed robbery. He ain't got no attorneys. Public defender, I bet it was a plea deal. I bet it was a plea deal. And he been in there since I was a kid. He probably still, I don't even know. I lost track of how much time. If he do 25 years, he still got to be in there. He probably going to be in there for another like 5, 6 years. If he got to do 25 years, he went in, we were young. Live. Oh, yeah. Somebody said comedy. Who said that? Kane talked about white comedians versus black comedians. I'm telling y'all, black people can say the N-word and they can criticize white people through comedian acts, through comedy, and nothing ever happens. Let a white comedian say the N-word. Let a white comedian say the N-word. Even if he quoting another comedian, oh, it's over. Racism, they kicking him off the thing. Let me tell you this. I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna move on. African American males in America, unfortunately, I fall in that category because I'm an African American male. African American males in this country are the most violent group of people in the United States of America. African American males disproportionately commit more violent crimes than any other race by far. With that being said, it is reasonable for a person to say that black males in America are violent. As a black man, I can say that. They're gonna call me Uncle Tom and Coon. As a white person, they will literally take you to jail for saying that. I'm just joking about the jail, but they'll literally come after you for saying that. And me and you are saying the same thing. Black people are disproportionately criminals in this country. I don't know. And there's reasons why in some cases, but it's a fact. You know what I'm saying? That's like talking about the rattlesnake. Rattlesnake is dangerous. I don't care if you like rattlesnakes or not. Like, are they dangerous or are they not? Rattlesnakes are dangerous. You know what I'm saying? And if somebody say, man, I don't want to go over there because rattlesnakes over there and they dangerous. You might not get bit by a rattlesnake, but because of factual information, rattlesnakes are dangerous. You know? And so it's like somebody saying, I don't want to get bit by a rattlesnake. So I'm not gonna go over there where all those rattlesnakes at. And you, oh, that's racist. You hating on rattlesnakes. It's like, no. Go to the hood is like rattlesnakes. Go to the hood is like going about a whole bunch of rattlesnakes. And people are like, and of course, rattlesnakes aren't living in a bed of nothing but rattlesnakes. Rattlesnakes are living amongst other things too that are peaceful, loving, and rattlesnakes are just behind the scenes creeping. And when you come up on them, they bite you. And you die. You get, it's rare that you die from a rattlesnake bite if you get the proper treatment, but you're going to be hurting. Same thing when you go in the hood. Like, there's good people in the hood. There's rattlesnakes in the hood, man. That's why I was listening to Lil Boosie on a thing the other day. Moved out of Baton Rouge. Boosie live in Atlanta right now. Ask Boosie why he don't live in Baton Rouge no more. Boosie said, Baby, Lil Wayne, and those other rappers from Baton Rouge are from New Orleans. Why they don't live in New Orleans no more? They moved out to Florida, Miami. You talking about, like, they were talking about it on a thing the other day. Most rappers get killed in their own hood. Like, why do most rappers get killed in their own hood? Because them rattlesnakes out there, they'll bite you. And everybody that live in the hood know that there's rattlesnakes there, but they don't want to say nothing. And then you let a white person say, man, y'all shouldn't go there, there's a lot of rattlesnakes. Oh, they racist. They just hate black people. Racism. Out of white man privilege. It's like they just telling the truth. I'm afraid to go in the hood sometimes, man, because I got stuff to lose. Like, if I ain't had nothing to lose, I go in the hood anywhere with my gun on me. You run up on me wrong, I'll smoke you. Go to prison. But that ain't my lifestyle. Like, I gotta avoid conflict. I don't want to go to the hood and get into a shootout with somebody and end up dying over something stupid. And that's why I avoid the hood. Where I live at, I'm safe up here. I live in a middle to upper class type of environment. You know, the houses out here are between 300 and up. You probably can get a good deal on a $250,000 house, but 300 and up, middle class type houses up, and then they got the $1 million houses, right? Everywhere, $1 million houses everywhere. And then I live just north of Scottsdale, which is tons of millionaires in Scottsdale. So up here, it's safe up here. Most people go to work, right? They go to work. So at 11 o'clock at night, I can let my dog out the stairs. He can run out there. And if I wanted to, I can let him off leash. He can run and I won't even have to go out there because nobody's out at 11, 12 o'clock at night. All these businesses close early. 6 o'clock, 8 o'clock, they closed. Everybody, most people live here, got families. They at home cooking for their kids. They're not at McDonald's. So a couple places open late, but most of the stuff closed early. Safe up here. I call the police right now. The station is actually right across the street from where I live. I call the police right now. They'll be over here in a minute. You know what I'm saying? Go live in the hood. So much crime. So many, not enough police officers. You call the police, you're going to be waiting 3 hours for them to get to you. You know what I'm saying? Talk about being safe. I don't really think I had to worry about nobody doing a drive-by over here. Will somebody crack up over here and try to kill somebody? Yes. I'm pretty sure people commit suicide all through here. I'm pretty sure people kill each other through here. It ain't nowhere near the hood. You know what I'm saying? I don't even hear police sirens over here. The police were in my apartment complex twice. And 2 times they were looking for a kid who ran away. They looking for a kid who got mad at his mama and ran away. That's the only 2 times I've seen police over here. No shootings, no murders, no nothing. Go live in Tucson. When you see us, because we murdered somebody. Because somebody murdered somebody. Somebody got run over by a car, murdered, killed. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. I got stuff to do today, but cops take forever in the hood. And it's not because they don't like the people, it's because they too busy. They investigating a murder and you calling about your TV being stolen. You about to wait like 10 hours for that. Out here, they ain't doing nothing but riding around. You know what I'm saying? Out here, they proactive policing. They just ride around. They may pull you over if you speeding. Riding around. Doing nothing. That's what police officers do out here. They like barely doing stuff. Go to Tucson. It's like this. Call. Oh, I ain't even eat lunch. Call. Shooting, stabbing, accident, homicide, rape. I'm telling y'all, I got pictures of these calls if you don't believe me, but I don't want to show them because they got confidential stuff on them. The day in the life of a police officer in a nice neighborhood. Log on, go get coffee, get some donuts, ride around, pull up with the homeboys, talk about life, talk about mom and them, talk about quitting the job, maybe talk about getting married, all this other stuff, hanging out. Hey man, let's go pull some traffic. We've been getting complaints that people speeding through this area. Let's go by there and do it. Go out, maybe pull like 5 cars over, hang out. Oh, somebody's calling because there's a traffic accident. Go over there, take traffic call, hang out. Day in the life in a good neighborhood. The day in the life in a bad neighborhood. Hey man, we can't go to briefing today. We need you guys to go right in the field. We getting slammed. Look on the computer. 36 calls holding. We ain't even got to work yet. 36 calls holding. Boop, shooting. You like, we just got to work. 30 calls, and we got a shooting. Oh, now the shooting suspect is fleeing from PCSO. We can't even think. Here we go. Shooting is over. Units copy 1052 at Grant and Campbell. Seems like the driver is non-responsive. A fatal accident. 10 officers. You know what I'm saying? Units copy a suspicious vehicle at Grant. Oh, now they're saying that. Oh, now they're saying that people are running from the Circle K. Now they've gotten into the vehicle. Boop! Armed robbery in progress. Like, you just like, it's fun, but it's like, it's a lot. People call it in. Somebody stole my trash can out my front yard. The police be like, hang up on you. Hey, like, don't call us for that. You go buy another trash can from Walmart. They don't do that, but what I'm saying is that they might as well do that because we're going to show 20 hours to get to that call. You know. Eunice copy a harassment call. Female is saying that she have a restraining order against a Timothy Bird. I just made that name up. Timothy Bird. Now, Timothy is trying to kick in the door and force entry. Units copy. Timothy is kicking the door in. We have advised her to go to the restroom and lock her and her kids in the restroom. Timothy is now forced entry into the residence. Eunice, we can hear the female screaming, "Stop!" You like, oh my God, man. I haven't even eaten lunch. Eunice copy a check welfare call. A mom just brought her kid in the hospital, unconscious, unresponsive, and it appears to have a brain bleed. I haven't even eaten lunch yet. This is going to be like a 15-hour investigation. Oh, don't wait till at night. It get worse at night. Loud party, shooting, suicide. Eunice copy. There's a young lady hanging off the bridge at Miracle Mile and Florence Wells. Looks like she's going to try to jump. Any units available? 2 out of 27, I'm en route. Any unit to 84? Crickets. Unit to clear to 84, which means back up. 2 out of 87, 2 out of 77, I'll get the next available. Yeah, you when this popping, you ain't getting no response in the hood. I'm just giving y'all a little scenario. Somebody said when making a name, use John or Jane Doe. I don't like using that. That sound fake. I just want to use some regular name that I put together. Let's see. All right, I'm done. I've been talking forever. I got to cut this video and make it. Because I think that other video is pretty good to put on the Instagram. To put on the YouTube. All right, I see y'all, man. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all watching. Somebody asked me that I stop policing. I'm not a police officer anymore. Dang, I tell you. I retired I retired. I like to call it retired. I left the police department about 7 months ago to pursue my dreams. So that's pretty much what it is. Yeah, I'm gonna tell y'all a funny story real quick and I'm getting out for real. People think it's funny. People think it's kind of comical when we say that the heat caused people to go crazy. That is a statistical fact. Because when I was working for the Tucson Police Department, we used to average, in the wintertime, we used to have about 900 calls a day. Citywide, we have 900 calls a day. In the summertime, we like get 1,200 calls a day. It's like how this is. Me and my boy was talking about this the other day. It start getting hot, and we go to work, and it's like we done had 5 shootings in 1 week, and we like, dude, how are we having all these shootings? Like it just turned 100 degrees this whole week. For the first time this year, it was 100 degrees. And we had already 5 shootings. And just last week, it was quiet. Like the heat literally does stuff to people. I mean, I guess if you homeless and you hungry, when you in Arizona and it's beautiful and it's like 65 degrees every day in the winter, you're not that mad. When you hungry and homeless and it's 115 degrees outside, you start to get irritable. Anyway, I love y'all. I'm out of here, man. Hey, for the 200 people that's watching this, go on to my YouTube and subscribe. If you're not already, just put Brandon Tatum in there and go to my YouTube and subscribe. If you like Instagram, I'll be posting on Instagram. I like Instagram. Go onto my Instagram. It's TatumBoy34 on Instagram. Tatum BOI34 on Instagram. Joel said, you send me a message. I got your message. I'll look at it as soon as I get off this feed. I hope that it's reasonable. Don't send me nothing crazy, man. Don't send me nothing trying to tell me that these officers weren't justified. If that's what it is. I don't know if you are. I don't know if you are. But don't do that. Because everything other than facts are speculations. And I'm sick of the speculations. But I'm gonna check out what you got to say, see what it is. It may be something different that ain't got nothing involved in this. But see y'all, love y'all. Peace.